Hello everybody, and welcome to Release Your Inner Hippie. This is the first time I've ever gone live in this group, and I'm pretty new to the group, so this is really exciting, and I'm really looking forward to this. I'm really looking forward to connecting with all of you. My name is Silke Harvey. I'm the founder of the Inner Hippie Club and Inner Hippie books. And the Inner Hippie Club is all about helping women release their inner hippie. And that's the wild and carefree feeling before life got serious, when you were still a teenager. And I work with women mainly who are in well-paid jobs, who've got good careers, who work in high-paying jobs, who've got nice families, but yet they're not happy. And that's a real conundrum that you come across time and time again. Those people that society thinks are really well off in every which way, not even money, tend to be the ones who end up the most unhappy. And why is that? In the Inner Hippie Club, I've come across this very, very often. Those women who are doing very well but are unhappy, it's because all their lives they focus on other people, never themselves. They focus on doing everything right for everybody. When they were young, they may have gone into a career that their parents chose just to please them. Then, as time went on, they went up the career ladder because that's what's expected of them by friends, family, society. They might get married and have children and do the whole thing that is expected generally of women, even to this day. And they make sure the kids are all right, the husband is all right, the kids are doing their hobby. So they spend their entire life in this hamster wheel of doing everything for everybody, but they never ever do anything for themselves. Hi Linda, nice to see you here. So they end up in the end feeling burnt out and really, really empty inside, because they've spent all these years doing everything for everybody else, and there's nothing left for them inside. And most of the time when I work with these women, the main crucial factor that is missing is fun. Because when we tend to get into this rut, into this adult business of being an adult, paying the bills, worrying about the job, worrying about the mortgage, somewhere amongst the lines we quickly forget how to have fun. Especially women. If you notice that a lot of guys have no problem with going out, meeting their friends, meeting their mates, going fishing, going this, going the other, for some reason men don't seem to have this problem, but women do. Most women end up staying at home, looking after the kids, looking after the house, doing the household chores, and never ever start looking after themselves. And that's what I do in the Inner Hippie Club. I help these women release their inner hippie. That means finding out for them what they enjoy in life, finding out what their purpose is in life, and what really, really turns them on and what gets them going and what gets their passion flowing. And that's the kind of work I do every single day with beautiful women on the internet. And I mostly work one-on-one, because I do believe that this process is so unique that group programs would be very difficult to address all the issues that all the different women would have, because each woman is a unique person. Each woman has completely different likes, dislikes. So in order to release the inner hippie, it's a real personal, up-close process that we go through together. I usually coach my clients over a number of weeks, some of them even months, and I tend to spend an entire day with them on Voxer. That's my go-to, where they can, during the day, ask me questions and get input on things that we have discussed previously. And that works really, really well, because my method is based on helping women achieve the maximum amount of fun with the minimum amount of time involved. So what that means is I set little tasks all throughout the day, and these tasks shouldn't take more than 3 to 5 minutes, otherwise you're doing it wrong. Or shall I say, there is no right or wrong, but it's unnecessary to spend longer than that on each task. And by doing these little tasks repeatedly throughout the day, women then over a time will start building up a resilience to stress. They will start creating and forming habits of better things, and that way start working towards finding their joy and passion in life again. For example, one of my real favorites is gratitude. One of the very first tasks I set each and every one of my clients is to get up in the morning and spend about 5 minutes on writing down everything that they are grateful for. That seems a very common thing, and a lot of people I speak to say, well, we do that anyway, but it's surprising how many people don't actually do this. This is more something in the coaching world. When I'm speaking to other coaches, other clients, they're into this, but I would say my ordinary clients who are not coaches, who are not from this kind of world, look at me quite surprised when I say they should give gratitude. Often, in fact, they say, well, there is nothing to be grateful for in this life. And that's where I start with them. Because when you really sit down and you think about every single thing that you can be grateful for in your life, there is a lot, really a lot to be grateful for. Because you need to start with the small things. A cup of coffee in the morning. If you can sit down for 5 minutes and enjoy that, that is something to be grateful for in itself, that you've managed to make that time for yourself. Or that you were able once again to have a nice warm shower, that you had a soft bed to sleep in. You can really break it down to the absolute basics in life and start from there. And slowly and surely, if you keep doing that, you will start developing an attitude of gratitude, what I like to call it. Because for as long as you're feeling grateful, there is no space for negative thoughts in your head. And that's a really important thing as well, that negativity drags you down. If you keep thinking negative thoughts, then you will become more and more unhappy, and it turns into a vicious circle. So to break the vicious circle, you have to actually stop the negative thought and intersperse it with positive thoughts. And that's exactly what gratitude does. Another major factor of my program is to create fun through simple, really simple activities like singing and dancing, or doing just some other fun activity. Again, some people might say, well, singing and dancing, I don't need a coach for that. But it is extremely surprising how many people have got a mind block about singing, dancing, because they believe it's something you have to be good at to be allowed or to be entitled to do it. And it takes a lot of work and a lot of convincing sometimes to tell these people, no, singing and dancing is our birthright as a human being. Human beings are allowed to sing, they're allowed to dance, they're allowed to have fun. And it makes no difference whatsoever how good you are at it. If you want to paint a picture and it ends up looking like a matchstick man, who cares? As long as you had fun painting it. Or if you want to sing along to your favorite song at the top of your voice and you think you're scaring off the neighbors, again, who cares? The neighbors shouldn't be listening, or if they are, they should join in. So I think society has put a lot of mental blocks in the way for us to do these things. Just recently, I was on a holiday where I went wild camping. And the whole idea was to get back to nature and to experience how our Neolithic ancestors would have lived on the land. Very, very basic. And yes, some of that week was all about singing around the fire, dancing around the fire, because that is what our ancestors did. And it was surprising, nearly each and every person in that group had a serious problem singing and dancing or performing in front of the whole group. People were absolutely scared, senseless. So I'm very lucky myself, having been a musician and performer for over 20 years, that I don't suffer any of these fears. But this holiday really brought it to my eyes how serious the problem is in our society. In fact, we were spending some time with a lady, a musician, who specializes in the old Proto-Celtic languages and Proto-Celtic songs. And she told us that in the old ancient languages, there is no word for musician. And the reason why that is because there was no such thing as musician as a separate profession like we have now. People didn't go off and study music and then perform in front of others. Each and every person in the tribe, in the group, was a musician. Everybody sang, everybody danced, everybody played some form of instrument. And that was just how it was. That was part of human nature, and it was completely normal. And it didn't matter if your voice was horrible or if you played out of tune. As long as it was heartfelt, the tribe would join in, everybody sing together. And I experienced this in my week's holiday, and it's absolutely magical. And after the week, after continuous singing and dancing together, a real miracle unfolded. By the end of the week, all of the group was continuously bursting into spontaneous song, dancing, telling stories around the fire, even reciting poems. It was beautiful, just beautiful. When you give people permission to really express themselves and be themselves without having to worry about being good or bad or judged, miracles happen. And that's exactly what I aim to achieve with the ladies I coach. I teach them that there is no need to have all these fears and to do things for themselves and for no other reason that it feels good. And when they can achieve that, they suddenly start finding their inner hippie. They suddenly start remembering how it was to be wild and free and not to have to worry about the bills. They suddenly have fun again in life, and with that fun comes a serenity of mind that automatically will take you to your purpose in life. Because if you spend time having fun, time relaxing, your mind slows down, you start forgetting about all the worries and the hassles of the day. You give your mind space to develop ideas and to start remembering. Because our passions and our purpose in life is already in here. We just need to remember it. It normally goes right back to earliest childhood. So if you start remembering what you were really good at as a small child and the things you were really passionate about as a small child, there is a very, very good chance that when you are older, you are going to find your passion from this. Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you. And our passions are something deep inside that comes straight from the heart. So we need to relax in order to find our passions. So that's another thing that is a very important part of my program. I teach women continuously to relax. For that, I tend to use mindfulness, because meditation can be rather scary to some people who are not used to it, because they really do envisage these incense-filled rooms where everybody sits cross-legged in the yoga position for hours on end, and it can scare some people off who are not into the sort of spiritual thing. So I start my clients off with mindfulness. And mindfulness is plain and simply the art of not thinking about the past, not thinking about the future, and focusing entirely every single one of your thoughts on what you're doing right now, right here. So it's obviously difficult to tame your mind. I went to a Buddhist monastery in Scotland once, and the monk had a wonderful analogy. He called our mind the chattering monkey. This monkey is up there talking away, drowning out all the thoughts, and we just can't seem to think about what's important because this monkey is always there, talking about the bills, talking about what to make for dinner. So the art is to not shut up the chattering monkey, because that's not possible. We cannot switch off our brain. If we were to switch off our brain, we would die, so that's not an option. So the art is to tame this monkey and to push it into the background so it's not quite so prominent anymore. And to do that, we need to become observers of our own thoughts. Again, the monk's analogy was, just imagine you're standing at the roadside of a busy highway and the cars are whizzing past. Those cars are your thoughts. So instead of trying to pick out every car, see what make and model it is, let them go until they just become a blur. They come, they go again. And the same is true for your thoughts. Let your thoughts come in, let them pass out of your mind again. So it becomes like a busy highway where you're not actually picking up on any of the details. Now, one good trick that anyone can do at any one point is to try this mindfulness is to, for example, wash the dishes. That seems such a simple and far-fetched thing that you could do meditation, a form of meditation, whilst doing the dishes. But it's actually a very, very good exercise to do. When next to do your dishes, the old-fashioned way, no dishwashers, really focus on every single step of the process. Turn on the tap, watch the water flowing into the sink. Mindfully add all the soap, then watch the bubbles. Start picking out individual bubbles. Really start inspecting them and see the skins on the bubbles, the iridescence of the bubbles. Then when you're doing your dishes, really mindfully do them, slowly. Experience all the different feelings. Is the water hot, cold, luke? How does the surface of the plate feel? Greasy? So there are so many impressions and feelings and sensory perceptions in that one action of washing the dishes that you can lose yourself for hours in it if you want to practice mindfulness. And that's something everybody can do at any one point. Or for example, when I used to work for corporates and I was entirely bored at some meeting again, I used to just pick an object in the room, a big bonus if it's something natural like a pot plant or anything, because nature is always perfect for mindfulness. And just sit for a moment and really focus on that one object and try to take in every detail. In your mind, make a description, almost as if you're at a crime scene and it's important that you get every detail right. You only need to do half a minute or a minute of that, and your mind will calm right down again, and you can take a deep breath and continue with the boring board meeting. So there are so many different hints, tips and tricks that I give my clients like that really make it easier to get through the day. So I would like to do a short meditation now with you that you can take away from today for grounding, because in order to do any form of meditation and in order to just clear your mind, even for mindfulness, you need to be grounded. Again, this little meditation can be done in 1 or 2 minutes once you've practiced it, or even quicker. It can be almost an instant image in your mind. So close your eyes now and take a deep breath in and out. Take another deep breath in and out. Now on your next breath, visualize strong, healthy roots growing from the bottom of your feet, deep, deep into the earth. And at the center of the earth, they meet a pulsing red ruby, the heart of Gaia. They entwine themselves around this red ruby and start drawing up red earth energy into your body. Your entire body gets flooded with the red earth energy into every single cell. It permeates your skin and goes into your cells, into your bloodstream. You become healthy earth energy. Now take another deep breath, and from above, through your crown chakra, draw in pure white light. And this pure white light forms a cocoon around you. And this cocoon is a protective barrier. It keeps the earth energy in to give you strength for the day, and it keeps the negativity out. It's the barrier between you and the world that protects you. So another deep breath in and open your eyes. And you can do this short, very short meditation whenever you need a quick boost, whenever you need to get a little bit grounded because things are going above your head again and you're feeling yourself getting stressed out. And the more you do it, the quicker it gets. In the end, you can virtually draw the picture down in your mind of the roots and the cocoon and just visualize yourself like that. And again, that can be done during the most stressful of situations. I did it the other week when my car broke down. And I thought I was standing at the roadside hundreds of miles from home having to scrap my car. And instead of going off the rails and having a tantrum like I may have done when I was younger, I remained calm. This meditation really is powerful, so it is really worth trying it out. So, as well as the Inner Hippie Club, I also run Inner Hippie Books, which is a publishing house for strong and amazing women who want to take their story out to the world. And this was very much born, the idea was very much born from the Inner Hippie Club, from working together with all these amazing women and seeing the breakthroughs and seeing how much life can improve if you really, really try hard to find your passion in life. So Inner Hippie Books was born. And I'm now launching my very first book, which is called Strong and Free, Stories of Women Who Are Living Their Dream After Breaking Up with Society's Expectations. And in this book, I am publishing women who have already taken the decisive step, who've released the inner hippie, who have said, enough is enough with society's expectations, and I do what I want and what is best for me. And it's so inspirational to work with these women. I'm constantly amazed at the beautiful stories that they bring to the table. It's just amazing. The lives they've had, the stories they've had, the suffering they've had, but also how they've overcome this with so much courage. And that's what this book is all about. And I'm still looking for authors for this book. Applications are still ongoing. So if you are a strong and free woman who've broken up with society's expectation and you want to be in the book, please give me a shout. Just leave a message underneath this video. And I would love to hear from you. Likewise, if you know somebody who fits that bill, please pass the message on to them. I really have made it my mission to publish the stories of as many women as I can, because our stories need to be heard. Women have been kept quiet and kept subservient for way too long in history. And I do feel that we're at a point in history where this is changing, and it's such an amazing time to be alive. Our ancestral wound that was inflicted on us during the burning times and even before that is finally starting to heal, and a lot of women are stepping into their power, are leading the lives that they want finally, and are able to combine this with their jobs and with their husbands and with their families, because the two don't have to be mutually exclusive. You can be strong and free, but you can also be in happy relationships. It's just a matter of doing things differently and learning how to do things slightly differently. So I hope you enjoyed this talk today, and if you want to get in touch with me, you can do so by writing underneath here. You can also go to www.innerhippiebooks.com. I will also leave that link. Or you can write me a private message here on Facebook. You can also get in touch with me via email. That's silke@innerhippieclub.com. So if you would like to be in the book, if you would like some help with releasing your inner hippie, I'm here, I'm ready to serve, and I would love to talk to you. Namaste.